Hello and welcome back to the SalonTouch video channel. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about reset and rollover type services. While there are lots of similarities, there are also a lot of differences in settings and really difference in the philosophy of the services. So we're going to look at some of these differences. But let's define first of all what these services are. So a reset service is a special kind of units-based service that resets itself every month back to the original number of units. Now keep in mind it's still a monthly service, and we also have to specify the date conditions for the reset to occur. That is, the date that this service will reset itself. Could be the 1st of the month, could be the 5th of the month, 15th, or whatever. Also, keep in mind that any units you use during the month will also reset back to 0. So the beginning of the month or whatever the reset date is, the original number of units will be reset back to that number. Now, one thing is recommended that since all reset services, constantly being reset every month, it's important that we give an expiration date to this service so that we say, for example, this service will expire a year from now. Otherwise, it will keep on going forever. So let's go ahead and set up a reset service. Now, I took the liberty of starting it. So I'm going to call this service 10 reset. It's a 10 session service. And when I first create it, these are by default no expiration date. The reset says it's not a reset rollover service. So I need to change those things. So let me go and set an expiration date. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to say expire, let's say a year from now. So I'm going to go to 2018, September. And I'm going to set it for the 3rd of September, 2018. So now this service will expire on the 3rd of September, a year from now. The second thing I need to do is I need to designate this service as a reset service. So I do this by clicking on this button and I check mark this and I say reset. Now I need to define what day I want it to reset. So in my case, let's say I want it to reset every 15th of the month. So I go and put 15 right here and I say OK. Now this service will reset on the 15th of each month. So for all practical purposes, I have really created a reset service. Now keep in mind that all other things here like the price, the room usage, that is what rooms this particular service will use or is allowed to use, and if there are any other conditions or combos you want to set up, those all have to be there just like any regular service. So let's go through some typical scenarios for this service. Let's say the client purchases this 10 session package, which is meant to reset the 15th of every month. Now assume that the client uses 8 sessions during the month and has 2 sessions unused. On the 15th of next month, the service will reset back to the original 10 sessions or 10 units. The 2 unused sessions which the client had, they are lost. Now, if the client uses all the 10 sessions during the month, they won't be able to use the service until it resets back to the 10 session on the 15th of next month. And that's how reset services operate. Really very, very simple. So this brings us to the end of part 1 of the reset rollover services videos. In part 2, we're going to look at rollover services and we're going to go through similar examples. So keep an eye out for it. It's out there already. Thanks for watching and see you in part 2. Bye.